Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and welcome back to System Shock Radio. So, I got some topics for you guys as always, so without further ado, let's get right into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is what we're going to be doing on the channel for the month of December. So, if you haven't checked out my review of Spider-Man, then first of all, go check that out, but also I announced that throughout the month of September, we're pretty much going to be taking a stroll through my childhood. And a lot of stuff that I grew up with, some stuff that I experienced as a child. We're going to be talking about it, detailing it for the most part for the month of September. And of course, because it's my birth month, my birthday's actually next Thursday. Because of that, it is going to be an annual tradition on the channel. So, if you're excited for that kind of stuff, let me know. And I got all kinds of fun surprises and stuff in store, or all kinds of like fun and cool stuff in store to talk about and discuss. Obviously, some of the stuff, such as like Tales from the Labyrinth and like System Shock Radio stuff like that, may or may not be affected too much by the birthday or birth month related content, and but a lot of stuff detailing my childhood and going through my childhood and a lot of stuff. So stay tuned for that as well. But yeah, so let me know if you guys are excited for that and wish me an early happy birthday if you wish. But the next thing I want to talk about is that John Cena's return, which a lot of people thought was a one-time thing, returning for the Superstar Spectacle and on the SmackDown. No, it's not. He's actually after the Superstar Spectacle, which is going to be in India, that John Cena will be competing at, and we've learned that he's going to be teaming with Seth Rollins against, I believe, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, or if I'm not mistaken. And let me check here. That's a little John Cena Superstar Spectacle. I probably should have did this beforehand, but I do apologize. Oh no! So it's gonna be Cena and Rollins versus Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. John Cena versus Gunther? Question mark? That actually would be a pretty solid match. And yeah, but with Cena being booked for this and for the Superstar Spectacle, I should say, and Payback, he's gonna be the guest host, which we're gonna talk a little bit more about. I cannot talk today. We're going to talk a little more about later on in this episode. But then he's also booked for the next 7 SmackDowns after that. So Cena's going to be here. He's going to be here for a bit. Taking a break from Hollywood for the time being back in WWE. And so a lot of people, because of that, have already gotten into fantasy bookings. What would I personally like to see out of him? Honestly, I'm not expecting like too much. I imagine he's gonna be on SmackDown for a reason. I remember last night on SmackDown, which I didn't watch, but I caught the highlights. He had a little confrontation with Jimmy Uso, which I guess Jimmy Uso's now fully back in the Bloodline, as he helped Solo win against AJ Styles. So, yay! But that might be a possibility. John Cena is obviously going to be in the Superstar Spectacle at Superstar Spectacle, I should say, in India. A lot of people have talked about the idea of John Cena potentially winning the Intercontinental title, which honestly, I'd prefer it if he won it from Chad Gable as opposed to winning it from Gunther. And granted, with Cena's career already being a Hall of Fame one, he doesn't necessarily need the Intercontinental Championship, but considering it's the only title he hasn't won, and the one title that's keeping him from a Grand Slam championship, don't worry, Sheamus is in the same boat. Maybe they can be co-champions for all I know, but considering that, and maybe plus I'm sure he had have a very good match with Chad Gable. So there's that. The one big one that people are talking about is him potentially fighting Cody Rhodes, which they have faced before, but this was a long time ago. This is back when Cody Rhodes was in Legacy and everything. But now that Cody Rhodes is now the American Nightmare, a lot further along into his career, or that might be a match of interest. It's maybe even at Survivor Series or something like that. They can do a Raw versus SmackDown match surrounding that. But yeah, so let me know if you guys are excited for John Cena to be back in WWE. But next we move on. Speaking of WWE, he's also going to be the guest host of Payback, which is happening later on tonight. In fact, at the same time this video is intending to be uploaded around 8 or so. Whether or not he'll actually upload around 8 is up for debate. I didn't mean to make that rhyme, but it did. But because of that, we're going to get into our predictions. So, a pretty decent card, or kind of a short card, or kind of a smaller card. But Triple H said he wants shorter cards in order to build the matches more, which, okay, admirable. But about 6 confirmed matches. There is a question mark, and that question mark being the Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes, and obviously Grayson Waller, who's hosting it. Whether or not that will lead into a full-blown match will remain to be seen. But the first match we have is Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in a steel cage match. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, for real this time. For real this time. I know they technically faced off before, but they've kind of been doing the whole Trish, finding different ways to get Trish out of actually like battling Becky Lynch. But nope, this time no running, no hiding, steel cage, baby. This one I think probably gonna go to Becky Lynch just to end the feud. Trish Stratus does want to face off against someone later on that we're gonna see in this card, which is pretty cool that Trish Stratus is gonna be here beyond just the Becky Lynch stuff. Of Trish Stratus, I guess, is like back, which she has been for a little bit, like being featured more and more on TV. He on a pretty regular basis. Is even getting a heel turn and everything. So Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus here, steel cage. I think it might go to Becky Lynch. Then next up in a Steel City Street Fight for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships and for the 900th time, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will be defending their Tag Team Championships against the Judgment Day. That being Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Honestly, in terms of the story they're telling and the fact that people are kind of sick of this feud up to this point, admittedly, not the one feud I'm going to talk about, but the feud of the Judgment Day versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Considering that this one probably could go either way. Either the Judgment Day finally capture tag team gold, or this is finally the straw that breaks the camel's back with either Finn Balor or Damian Priest turning on the other, or officially bringing the split of the Judgment Day into full swing. But yeah, people are kind of sick of this one, so this one could go either way. I'm tempted to lean towards Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but why do they still have both sets of tag titles? Why are there no tag team championships on SmackDown? You have a tag team division on SmackDown. Why not have the tag team championships on SmackDown? Why not just make new tag titles? You did for all the other championships, just make new titles. But so I think I might lean towards Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but Steel City Street Fight because they're in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, of course, is the Steel City, so I imagine it's just gonna be a typical street fight stuff. But yeah, there's that. But then for the women's world championship, Rhea Ripley will be defending against Raquel Rodriguez. As this one, I don't think Raquel's gonna win this one, but I think she might have a decent chance. And Raquel's definitely got a lot of momentum against Rhea so far. they've been going after each other for weeks now. Oh, and Raquel able to match power with Rhea, so that will make for an interesting match, at least in theory. Hopefully in execution as well. But I think this one might go to Rhea Ripley. Yeah. But then next up for the United States Championship, Rey Mysterio will be defending against LA Knight. Nope. That's what people wanted, but nope. Instead, Austin Theory, baby. LA Knight's got his own problems on the show, but yeah. So Rey Mysterio is going to be defending against Austin Theory. Austin Theory, of course, lost the U.S. title to Rey Mysterio, so it's a perfect time for him to get an opportunity to face for the title back. Like, please don't pop me back on Austin Theory. Look, nothing against Austin Theory, he as a person or even a wrestler, because he's talented and everything. But he was not a great U.S. champion, unfortunately. And Rey Mysterio just won it. Don't take it off of Austin Theory to just put it back on him. And plus, they're probably going to further the divide between Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar, or the rest of the LWO / Legado del Fantasma, which that will be an interesting dynamic if done right. That is, where will Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro and Zelina Vega's loyalties lie? Will they lie with Rey Mysterio, or will they lie with Santos Escobar when the split inevitably happens? But yeah, I'm leaning towards and I'm rooting for Rey Mysterio, and I'm not just saying that because Rey Mysterio is one of my all-time favorites, but I just really don't want another Austin Theory U.S. title reign. I think a lot of people are sick of that by now. And next up, LA Knight is going to be battling against The Miz. These two have been at each other for a while. Well, The Miz even mocking LA Knight on Raw, which was actually pretty funny. It all stemmed from a promo battle they did against each other, where they both kind of went in on each other, and now they've been feuding. Miz cost LA Knight shot the U.S. title again when LA Knight fought Austin Theory. So now it all comes to a head here. And I imagine LA Knight's gonna pick up the win here, pretty much just to put the Miz away and use him as a stepping stone towards greatness. Is Mr. LA Knight? Yeah, and last but not least, and also I forgot to mention with this card and the other card that I have to talk about, these are just the matches that they're listed on the wiki. This doesn't necessarily mean that this will be the official order that they'll happen on the event. Except maybe for this one, because it's going to be for the World Heavyweight Championship, so I imagine it's going to be main eventing. But Seth freaking Rollins will be defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura is heel again, and he's targeting Seth Rollins' back, which he actually hurt a while ago. I think they said back in 2019. And man, Seth Rollins was hurting, having a hurt back and everything for a long time. Wow, it's crazy that he's still going. But then again, and same with like Shawn Michaels and stuff back in the day. Hey, but this one I think could go either way. A lot of people do want Shinsuke to take the belt off of Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins has had a long enough reign to the point where taking the belt off of him could be feasible. And with this feud, Shinsuke has a lot of momentum. Don't blow it like you did back in 2018 WWE. But yeah, so there's that. But the other event we have to talk about is AEW's All Out. Yes, All Out's the day after Payback. Yes, it's a whole week after All In. And no, I'm not happy about it. The thing is with this event, and they essentially, because this one is like a week after All Out, I had to pay for both pay-per-views in order to watch them, which already puts a strain on my wallet. But also the thing is you essentially have to build two cards, and inevitably one card is probably going to be built more than the other. And WWE has done this before too, with December to December 2006 being a week after Survivor Series. He's like, I can't stand when that happens. Now, it's one thing to have the event near like a WWE event, because that kind of stuff happens all the time, and obviously they're not the same company, but this is the same company. This is AEW. This is All Out, and All Out, unfortunately, getting nowhere near as much build as All In. A lot of the build and a lot of the matches they had to add almost at like the last minute, unfortunately. which like I said is unfortunate, because this card almost feels like an afterthought compared to All In, which is in legendary Wembley and breaking all these records and stuff. So it's unfortunate, but such is life. But nevertheless, as we can complain about it later, or the first match we have is for the TNT Championship, and again, similar to with what I was describing with Payback, this is the order that they have them on the wiki. But this doesn't mean they'll be necessarily the order they have them on the show. But the first match we have is for the AEW TNT Championship, and I think this is like the first match, or maybe one of the first matches announced for All Out. How like what they would do is how they're building towards All In. They would kind of sprinkle a match or two in on All Out, but just a little bit, just a little bit. They like the one dude that's like on All Out, but nevertheless, for the TNT Championship, if Luchasaurus is the TNT champion. Luchasaurus is, I mean, it's kind of Christian Cage, but it's not, but it is, but it's not, but it kind of is. But anyway, he will be battling against Darby Allin, and Darby Allin seeking to take the TNT Championship from Luchasaurus and essentially bring back the prestige of the TNT Championship. If this one could go either way, I'm tempted to say Darby, but at the same time, I feel like they're probably not quite done with Christian Cage / Luchasaurus as TNT champion, and just yet. So I might lean towards Luchasaurus. I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna put in Luchasaurus. Then next up, and I think this actually was like the first match announced for All Out, will be Miro battling against Powerhouse Hobbs. These two have been going after each other for some time now. Miro going to redeem Powerhouse Hobbs. So I think this one also, this one could go either way, but I think it might go towards Miro. To get him the win there, or even though Powerhouse Hobbs definitely also could use the momentum, but I think it might go towards Miro. Then next up, for the AEW TBS Championship, Chris Statlander will be defending against Ruby Soho. I'm tempted to say Ruby Soho might capture it. So the Outcasts will have 2 championships on them, even as they're slowly starting to split apart with Tony Storm, and some of the infighting there. But at the same time, I don't know if they'll necessarily take it off of Chris Statlander just yet. So I think this one I might go with. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Chris Statlander on this one. I should probably write these down, honestly. I forgot to do, for Payback and for this one, I gotta do what I think will be Match of the Night. I forgot to do it with All In. I had to do it after the facts, but I will definitely do it for these 2 cards. For Payback, I'd probably go with Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. But back to All Out here. Next up, we have for the AEW International Championship, a freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy will go against the man who will freshly squeeze the blood out of your forehead, Jon Moxley. This isn't a death match, but I imagine this will still be pretty brutal and also kind of fun. Orange Cassidy, for starters, defended the International Championship against Penta on Dynamite, and will now defend the championship against Jon Moxley here. Obviously, the Blackpool Combat Club and the Best Friends have been feuding. Orange Cassidy even cutting a hell of a promo on Jon Moxley. And Orange Cassidy, but both of these guys honestly definitely deserve a vacation. They've definitely been like some of like the consistent some of like the biggest names driving stuff on AEW. And man, it's impressive. Both these guys definitely deserve vacation. Jon Moxley was supposed to take his for a while, but Orange Cassidy, he's tired, and I imagine so. But I think this one might go to Orange Cassidy. I don't think they're gonna take it off of Orange Cassidy just yet. But it'll be interesting to see this match. I don't think these two have ever faced off 1-on-1. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. But next up, finally, the match they've been teasing at forever. They're finally gonna pull the trigger on it. Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita, who will be obviously accompanied by Don Callis. These two have been feuding for a while, stemming back to Double or Nothing when Takeshita attacked Omega, and now how it comes down to this one-on-one, and Takeshita got the win. And for his team over Omega back at All In. So if you haven't already, go check out that review. But I think this one probably might go to Omega just to finish off the feud and for Omega to finally get his revenge against not just Takeshita but Don Callis. But next up, an 8-man tag team action. Bullet Club Gold, hold that being the Guns, Austin and Colton, and Switchblade Jay White, and Rock Hard Juice Robinson, and we'll be battling FTR, her and the Young Bucks of FTR, that being Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, and the Young Bucks being Matt and Nick Jackson. Obviously, this one, considering what happened at All In, and that leading to a potential heel turn for the Young Bucks. This one may or may not. This one probably could go either way. I'm tempted to say Bullet Club Gold, possibly due to a potential Young Bucks turn on FTR, like definitive turn on FTR. But this one could go either way. But Bullet Club Gold definitely having a lot of momentum. But yeah, I think I'll stick with Bullet Club Gold here. But next up, for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, it's Better Than You, Baby. Adam Cole and MJF will be defending their titles against the Dark Order's Alex Reynolds and John Silver. So Alex Reynolds and John Silver won the Tag Team Battle Royal technically last night on Rampage, but technically it was on Wednesday because obviously Rampage is filmed after Dynamite. But Better Than You, Baby, in 2 pay-per-views in a row? What sorcery is this? MJF in 2 pay-per-views in a row? Oh, what sorcery is this? But in all honesty, for someone whose gimmick is that like he wants to wrestle as infrequently as possible, MJF has not missed a pay-per-view yet this year, which is actually pretty impressive. So by trying to get out of work, he inadvertently creates more work for himself, is essentially the story, yeah, I guess. But nevertheless, this one, and probably not going to go to Reynolds and Silver, even though they have yet to win any gold in AEW just yet, which is actually pretty disappointing. But they just put the titles on Better Than You, Baby. Granted, that hasn't stopped AEW before, but I don't think they're going to take them off them just yet. But this one could go either way, but I think I'm going to stick with Better Than You, Baby. And then next up, for the Ring of Honor World Television Championships, Samoa Joe will be defending against Shane Taylor. Admittedly, he don't really know who Shane Taylor is. They had a hype package for him on Dynamite when hyping up this match, but not really familiar with him. Definitely a sign. There's been all kinds of signs that I should probably start watching Ring of Honor and old school Ring of Honor at that. But I'm interested to see what he does, and Samoa Joe, obviously being Samoa Joe. Oh, this one may go either way. I'm tempted to say Samoa Joe, but we'll see. But it'll be interesting to see this match. And then lastly, in a tag team match, Eddie Kingston and Katsuyori Shibata will be battling the Blackpool Combat Club's Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. This one, obviously, as a result of the consistent feud between Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli, this one, and I think might go to Kingston and Shibata to finally put away Castagnoli. Yeah, so I think this could go that way. But nevertheless, as that is all in, not all in. That is Payback and All Out. Those cards. Let me know your predictions. As for match of the night for All Out, I'm tempted to possibly. I think I might go with Cassidy versus Moxley. Maybe also Omega and Takeshita, but But I think it's probably gonna be those two in terms of like match of the night is Cassie versus John Moxley for the International Championship and Omega versus Takeshita. Then next thing I want to talk about is we got some updates to AEW Fight Forever. So the first thing is new Stadium Stampede mode, and we also got a DLC release. In terms of the Stadium Stampede mode, pretty much using weapons, and it's like player versus player, or player versus PvE essentially. Pretty much like Fortnite, except around the arena and everything. And seeing some of like the images and videos of it and stuff, it does look kind of fun. I haven't played Fight Forever yet. I've heard mixed things about it. Yeah, so there's that. So if you like Fortnite, you might like this mode. And then new DLC, the Limitless Bunny Bundle, including 2 characters. It's available for $11.99, and it includes 2 playable characters, that being the Bunny and Keith Lee, and 2 new mini games, that being the MJF Car Thrash and Sloth Slaying. So they actually showed the video of the MJF car crash. Essentially, it's kind of like red light, green light, where when MJF's cutting his promo and everything, you gotta destroy his car, and then he'll turn around, and I guess you get docked points if he catches you breaking his car, those added to the game. Some interesting stuff there. I wonder if it will bring more people into the game. Perhaps, I'm not sure. I definitely probably want to pick it up at some point. Even though I've heard mixed things about it, just to try it out for myself. But there is that. And then the last thing I want to talk about here to wrap up is dealing with stress. So, especially for my college students going back, I know some of you guys have went back this week. Some of you guys are going back next week after Labor Day and everything, and of course to all my younger viewers in high school and things like that. You may be wondering, how do you deal with stress when stress and stressful things come your way in life? How do you deal with them? And for me, what I've always found is doing something that I enjoy and doing something that takes my mind off the stress, even for just a moment, usually helps with me. For me, it's stuff like video making here, or watching YouTube, or playing video games, releasing stress that way. There's plenty of ways to relieve stress, and find the way that best fits you, that will definitely help you with your stress and managing stress, because things can be stressful, and stress not just takes a toll on you mentally, but physically as well. So dealing with that is important. And of course, there's 2 types of stress, that being eustress and de-stress. Obviously, it's de-stress that you want to deal with, but eustress is doing things that you enjoy, that make you happy, and pretty much releases a lot of stress. So use the eustress to combat against the de-stress. But stress is real and it's tough, but you can make it through. And obviously, to all my students going back to school, good luck to you all. Have a fantastic, awesome, and productive semester. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn post notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on everything I talked about in this episode and your thoughts on that. But thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.